welcome to the next episode of our podcast. We have Bryant Blackwelder with us. Thank you for joining me.
Yes.
We're here to talk about some of the things that Bryant has done and is doing, investing in real estate. And let's get started. Let's kick it off. Tell us a little bit about your history and what got you to where you're at today.
Yeah, so I was born in Georgia, lived in 12 states, and been on my own since I was 13. Got introduced to drugs and alcohol at 6 years old. Grew up in a dysfunctional family and very abusive, so I had to be in survival mode constantly. I've worked 9 to 5 jobs and double shifts and 2 jobs at the same time, just chasing the dollar, and just always wanted better for myself. And I was always told I would never amount to anything and I would never do anything with my life. And trying to commit suicide from the age of 8 to 21, I was either going to end up in jail or dead. And so, yeah.
One of the things I admire so much about you is that you're open to discuss your past, which is inspiring to many people, because there's so many folks in society who have a background similar to yours, but have not taken the path that you have taken. And it's one of the reasons I'm grateful you chose to be on the podcast to share your story. So what got you from where you were at then to where you're at now? What was that transition?
It was definitely Jesus, without a doubt, 100%. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for him. I started this business because of him, and I fought him tooth and nail and wanting to do something else, and he had a sense of humor with it. So,
right.
But it's been great. I've been able to get to meet a lot of cool people and share my story, and so yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you didn't grow up in a religious household.
I didn't. No.
So how did you find Jesus?
Yeah, so I moved from Florida to California thinking I was going to live the California dream, and met these people evangelizing and telling me about a God who could forgive me of all my sins and who loves me, and I was like, there's no way. I've experienced and done a lot of bad things, and how can there be a God when my own dad rejected me? And so but I was wrong, and I went to church the next day and ended up accepting Christ in my life. So, and I've been on a crazy roller coaster with him since then. So,
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I have been, I'm grateful that our paths crossed in life, because you're a good man, and you're humble, and you seek to do good for others, and it's genuine, and there are not a lot of people out here like they're out here. You seek to help others, and there aren't a lot of people out there like you. So I'm again grateful that you're here, grateful that you're sharing your story with us, and I'm hoping it can inspire some other people as well who are looking to make better of themselves than what life gave them.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you're doing now.
So I run 2 businesses. One of which is my passion, which is real estate. I love meeting new people, so I'm constantly networking, reaching out to people for coffee or to network and just gain knowledge and just make connections. And so whether I'm meeting people for coffee or for lunch, or I'm going to Home Depot or Lowe's or the bank and just talking real estate. And so that's essentially my everyday thing. So. Of course, I check on my other business and things like that, but for the most part, yeah.
Okay. So did you start your businesses here in Knoxville?
I did. My real estate journey, yes.
Okay.
Well, I say that, but I've done 4 live-in flips, wanting to better myself.
Right,
and
sure.
My wife kind of kept alongside me and let me do those. So our first house was a bank repo trash house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, I started my other company in Idaho, which is where we moved from. So.
Okay. So we actually talked about this in some of the other episodes, where to purchase a home and then live in it for a while and move to the next one. You took the even harder route, which is to purchase a home, fix it up, and then move.
Yeah.
But it's also ultimately a little more lucrative, or can be more lucrative. And did that work out well for you?
It did, yes. Seeing where we are now, to looking back, obviously my wife had a hard time with it, but it was a good experience for the kids and stuff, and being able to renovate the houses and turn them into something better than what we bought them for, and the condition they were in. It allowed us to essentially move into a better house every single time, even though we were buying fixer-uppers to everyone else.
Right.
So, yeah.
Nice. So this podcast is mainly geared toward Knoxville entrepreneurs. And so you're far enough along in your career that you're definitely a bona fide entrepreneur. You own 2 businesses.
Yeah.
Tell us what advice you would give to other entrepreneurs that are at your same stage, right? They're not really beginning. They're not, are we ever done being an entrepreneur? But you're not really starting out anymore, but you're still moving forward. What advice would you give to other entrepreneurs in the region that are in a similar situation to you?
Yeah, so I would say make sure you're doing it for relationship and not a transactional situation, and just network and be okay with asking the hard questions or the awkward questions, and just ask. You never know unless you ask. And so there are
Okay.
Knoxville. So yeah, just don't be afraid to take a chance, and don't be afraid of putting yourself out there, because you're never going to know unless you ask the question or you try. You never want to look back in your life 5 years from now or 10 years from now and wish you would have taken that chance with the investment, or taken the chance with the flip, or whatever the case may be. So and don't let money stop you, because I didn't come from money, and so I had to learn how to get creative and use other people's money or do owner finance. And so I never let that stop me. And so anybody else out there, it's like everyone says the money's always there, but the deals are hard to come by. But for me, it was the opposite. The deals were always there, but the money was hard to come by, and so you had to get really creative. So
it's funny, in the short time I've known you, I'm amazed at the deals that just seem to fall on you like rain. They just everywhere. Every time I talk to you, well, I've got this and this. And I was like, I don't know, there's not enough money to fund all that right now. But there is. It's just a matter of making the connections. But it just falls on you like rain. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
Thank you.
So what are some things that you're doing in your business right now to make it grow?
For sure, I think networking has been my key. I do really well face-to-face and one-on-one. And my mastermind investor group that I'm part of told me for years now that I need to get on social media. And even though I was against it, they're like, listen, the more people you can get in front of, the closer you are to getting your next deal. And so I started a Facebook page a couple months ago, and I've just been showing what I do and what I love and networking, and I've met some really awesome people, you including.
Thank you.
And just taking it from there and figuring out how I can help them grow or how I can grow, and I've found some other opportunities and deals from this as well. So
social media is another key we've discussed in some of the previous podcasts. I think younger folks. Let's try again. I think the demographic 20s to 30s are much more comfortable with social media and are more inclined to look there for information, whereas older folks, 40s, 50s, 60s, may be engaged to some degree. Now, the fact that you've been on social media for just a couple of months blows me away. Check out his posts, okay? He's genuine, and they're fun to watch. So good stuff. Not just funny. I mean, it's good. It's just good, solid. It's genuine. And just say you got the knack.
What you see is what you get.
Exactly, so. and that's the best we have to offer people. Is being genuine. Being somebody at work and somebody else at home. That's no way to live your life. So I appreciate that about that. So where do you see your businesses? Well, first, let's tell me about your businesses. Tell us a little bit about what you do and what your entrepreneurship looks like now.
So I run a construction company, and we do full house renovations, anywhere from small jobs to full-on house remodels and additions. And then but lately I've been transitioning into more investments, and so I do flips, I do rentals, I'm buying storage units or commercial properties, and I'm fixing those up and renting those out. And then we just started doing ground up construction. So I bought 5 acres, and I'm using my construction company to build the first 2 homes and then sell those and build the next 2 homes.
And it sounds to me like you're leveraging, I mean, I'm a funding guy, but it sounds to me like you're doing, in the previous episode, we talked about ways to fund these, which were DSCRs as well as ground up, fix and flip or fix and hold. And it sounds to me like you're doing all of the above.
With a little creativity.
Well, yes.
So my rental house, I used 0% interest credit cards to use it as a down payment to buy the home.
Right.
And then my storage unit, I used a good friend of mine, used their money for the down payment, purchased it, and then paid them back in 6 months. And then my 5 acres, I used someone else's funds to purchase it, but I ended up leveraging it and getting a construction loan to buy the lot and build the first 2 homes.
Right, perfect.
So
see, this falls to, things are very rarely black and white when it comes to making business happen. And with a dose of creativity and with networking and knowing people and being a good guy, you can generally find ways to make things happen. That's something my branch manager at Bigfoot Mortgage has been teaching me. It's not yes or no. It's yes and, or no but. And we can always find a way. Nothing is unfigure-outable. And that's important. It sounds like you know that lesson now already. So that's good. That's good. And so you mentioned you have 2 companies. So you have a construction company. What is your other company?
It's Black Forest Properties, and so that's where I started here in Tennessee, and that's what I do all my real estate deals through. And I'm actually in the process of creating a new LLC for a bigger deal that I have under contract.
Nice.
So
So where do you see yourself growing into in 5 years? Will you still be doing all of the above?
That's a great question. In a perfect world, I'd love to take a step back from my construction company and do full-time real estate investing. Really trying to buy back my time with my wife and kids. And they've stuck by my side through this whole endeavor, and then now they want to try to reap the benefits of my time. And so in 5 years, I mean, I would love to be able to offset my income to where I could travel more or take time off without batting an eye. So, but my heart is to give back to people, and I just, it's great making money, but if you don't have a purpose or if you don't do anything with it, then what's the point? You know? And so I love blessing people. I love helping people and encouraging them and helping them trying to get their first deal or their first rental, or helping them, understand real estate better, and so I'd love to be in a better position to be able to do that more. So
I respect that. I've noticed a lot of folks in various industries, they'll reach a point in their careers where they have an abundance mentality, and I think a lot of people have that, where you're not hoarding deals, you're sharing your information because there's plenty for everyone, and that attitude of giving back and wanting to give is healthy, and it helps everyone succeed. And I think that's one of the things that attracts good people to other good people, is seeing that. And I think that's a good key to success. I really do. So in 5 years, your plan is to start making things a little more autonomous. It sounds like. And real estate investing sounds like is your passion. Okay. Why do you think real estate is what drives you to do business?
I like the challenge of it, and coming from my past and the traumatic experiences that I've dealt with, I've always had to be in, I do really well in highly stressed environments and survival mode, and so I feel like the creativity of real estate and the challenges and the unknown of real estate really, I think, pulls on my heartstrings, and then but it also gives me the ability to do what I love, which is meet people.
I think it does.
Okay.
I think it does. I was asked something similar in my interview, and it basically comes down to, I get to work with people, and at the end of the day, I sit back and say, I helped these people today, and I spoke with them and worked with them as individuals, which is so different from corporate America, where it's numbers and crunches and transactions, and helping people get where they want to be is so much more satisfying.
Yeah.
I don't fear Sunday evenings anymore, right? For what Monday's going to look like, I look forward to my day to day.
Yeah, and the other thing, it's like, obviously I do this with no expectations and nothing. I don't ever expect anything in return. And there's a lot of people that would say, the deals that I give away or help people with, I don't always make money, and I don't intend to. But it's like, you never know when you're going to need their help or their connections that they know. And so, perfect example, like I just gave away a deal and they were able to buy it as their first rental. And I think from a connection, I ended up meeting someone else who was talking to me about a 16-unit apartment complex across from the airport.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah. So
it's the principle of the Go-Giver, which is a book I mentioned before. And yes, I love it that much. I've read it twice in the last 6 months, which is, if with other people's concern as your top concern, business just comes. Because people recognize that. And making connections, not only is it fun and satisfying, but it also, your needs are met.
Yeah.
And sounds counterintuitive, but it does work.
Yes.
It does work. People who do it work. Case in point. So that's wonderful. All right.
Yeah.
Well, what advice would you give to people who have had very difficult or challenging circumstances that are looking to make that transition, or maybe they've gone through those circumstances and found a measure of success and they want to take it to the next level? What would you say to our community or folks in our community in that situation?
I think I would say, tell you exactly what I tell my kids is start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. In order for you to grow, you have to be uncomfortable and you have to get out of your comfort zone and be willing to take that risk, like I said earlier. And people are going to do one or two things. They're either going to agree with you and start talking real estate, or they're going to walk away and look at you weird. It's like, you know what? And maybe that's part of my past, but like, I'm okay with rejection. I'm okay with getting 30 no's before I get a yes, but it's like, don't give up after the first one, or don't give up if someone says no to you. It's like, just keep trying. And it's like, surround yourself with like-minded people. It's like, that way when you take on a deal, you're not just taking on a deal by yourself, you're taking on a deal with 30 other people, because you can use them as resources. You can use the networking groups or the investor groups or the people that you rub elbows with to help you dissect that deal, or tell you if it's a good deal or if it's a bad deal. And I've used that a lot lately. So
that's great. It's a common theme. No one succeeds alone, and no entrepreneur has to succeed by themselves.
Correct.
Entrepreneurs who try to do that end up being a slave to their job, just like they were before an entrepreneur, right? So
I remember hearing someone told me, they're like, your net worth is only as good as your net worth is only as good as your network.
Right.
And
good.
So it's like, sure, there's value to that, but it's like, whoever you surround yourself with, they're going to help push you to that next level if you allow them to.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's very good. Great wisdom. What other nuggets of wisdom would you share with the community at large? I think we're on a roll.
Oh, man. Be willing to take the good with the bad. I've failed and I've lost money, and I've dealt with people that obviously don't think or act the same way, and I've lost over $100,000 dealing with other contractors or investors or people that I've just trusted because I want to grow. And so it's like, that taught me a very valuable lesson, but at the same time, I'm still not going to let that affect me, because if I stop, then I let them win. And I just can't ever do that. I've gotten so far, too far, and worked my butt off to where I am today, that if I let them affect me, then what was all that work for?
Right. Well, it shows a degree of mental discipline, which is to not allow other people's actions affect our lives. Or I should say, how we react to other people's decisions is a function of our mentality. as
Yeah.
opposed to their behavior.
Yeah.
And yes, it costs some money, but
Yeah.
you didn't go to college, right?
No.
So that was your tuition.
School of hard knocks.
That was your tuition.
Yeah.
But you learned and had experience, and that's how life is. That's how
Yeah.
life is. There's different ways for different folks to learn,
Mm-hmm.
and we carry on. There's a saying which I heard someone say once was, "We never fail until we give up."
That's right.
We either learn or we succeed. Those are our two options.
Yeah. That's good.
Awesome. Bryant, it's been great chatting with you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time, sharing your story with us, sharing your wisdom with us, and we're hoping it inspires some other folks to do the same.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Bert.